Welcome back, everyone. I've talked a lot about the Apple TVs and even the Google Chromecast, but now we gotta talk about another streaming device, which is the Amazon Fire Stick. Now, I bought this thing like a month ago and I haven't had time to review it, even though I don't do anything. And I will definitely tell you, as I've said in my other reviews of those other streaming things, it's like, I think this is a really cool thing. I think it adds some value, but I think as a whole, like I stated a billion times before, a lot of TVs come with this type of built-in functionality anyway, so there's really no point in picking this thing up, particularly if you already have a smart TV or if you have a TV that, has some smart capabilities or some built-in apps. Things like Netflix, YouTube, Hulu. If you have cable, you have an assortment of other things too. Like, you have a lot of different capability you have with a smart TV, so you don't even have to pick one of these things up. That's my first thing I have to say at the gate. But if you have a TV that, you spent a lot of money on back in the day and it doesn't have any streaming capability, then picking one of these things up would probably be a better thing than not, because you have a lot of different capability within something like this, even an Amazon Fire Stick, which I think costs less than $50. And I think it's a pretty good pickup. It's not the best thing in the world, but there are some really cool things you can do with it that are actually pretty surprising, which I'll get into in a second. But first of all, Amazon Fire Stick, you guys already know, it's another streaming stick. And within it, not only does it have the capability of playing a bunch of different, video assortments, you have Prime Video, HBO, Netflix, all these other things, but it also has Amazon Prime capability within it. So you can actually speak to the remote, which is really cool. And it has Alexa built in, which I think is pretty cool. You can stream music using Prime Video from this thing too, which is cool. And if you have other Alexa type of devices, you can actually tell it to check those cameras, you can say, Alexa, check the front door. That's one thing they say in the pamphlet that it comes with. And I think that's a really cool thing. You can see a lot of different things on your TV, and you don't necessarily have that capability on a smart TV. So if that's something that's really important to you, just keep that in mind, that this, device does have that capability, which I think is pretty decent for the most part. Now, around the Fire Stick, we can go and take a look at it. It's pretty minimal. You just have a little HDMI port sticking out, and you have a micro USB port at the bottom. And I think this is actually really cool. It's super minimal. It reminds me a lot of the Google Chromecast. And if you think about it, this thing can do a lot of things that the Apple TV can do, and that thing is way bigger. Obviously, the TV, you can play games and a lot of other things, but for the most part, this does everything that you need it to. Now, this is not a premium feeling thing. It doesn't feel like, an Apple TV. The Apple TV feels way more premium, but I think it still looks pretty good, and I think it still feels pretty good for the most part. You're going to plug it in one time and forget about it, so it's not even that big of a deal. And it is totally powered from that micro USB port, so I think that's a really cool thing as well. Now, once that's plugged in, you go ahead and move your way over to the remote. And this is another one of those remotes that don't really feel that great. I think out of the Roku and the Apple TV, this one is probably the weirdest feeling controller or weirdest feeling remote, but it's not that big of a deal at the end of the day. You have the power button up top, the microphone button, you have, your little scroll wheel, but it's like a physical button, so you have to press the home button, back button, and the menu button, and then your little fast forward, pause, and rewind buttons, and the volume buttons, and the mute button. And that's really pretty much it for the remote. There's really not much else going on with it, which I don't think is a bad thing either. Now, once you power up your Amazon Fire Stick, you come into the menu and you have the options of choosing whatever you want to do with it, whether you want to go to the Prime Video, whether you want to go to Netflix. And like I stated, there's a lot of different capability within it, but like I said, you're kind of narrowed down into what you can do in a way. I feel like with the Apple TV, obviously it's a little bit more expensive, but you do have more capability. You can play games, you can do a lot of other things too. And there are some modded capabilities you can do with an Apple TV, which I know this is kind of weird to say, but with the Fire Stick, you also have some capabilities like that too. You can install some apps. I think this is built around Android, so there is some capability with that. And I've seen a lot of people do some really, really crazy stuff with it, which I think is really, really awesome. And I've seen a couple times of people able to install, I don't know what it was, but certain apps that allow you to stream videos for free, which I'm not surprised that on my second channel, I talk a lot about those type of apps. So I think that's actually a really, really cool thing. And obviously Amazon probably looks down on it, but it's a part of life. And I think, if we can have that capability and install it, manually like we can, I think that's honestly one of the best things ever. And on my second channel, I'm probably going to start talking a lot more about this. I'm going to talk about, how to install these certain apps. I've just been pumping out so many videos, so I got to get on those too. And ultimately, that's really pretty much the main things. I think one of the cooler things, and it's not really a gimmick because it does have some value, is probably the fact that you can click the button and talk to the remote and, change to a certain other thing or do whatever you want to. I think that's one of the better aspects of this, because when you look at the Roku, when you look at the Apple TV, I think you do have some capability, but it's not like this. I think the Apple TV 4K has Siri built into the remote or something, I don't remember. But this one, by having that capability built into the remote, is actually really, really cool. Even though Alexa isn't the best thing ever, really all voice assistants are pretty much, okay behind Google. I think Google's still number one. But even with that being said, this is actually a pretty cool product to pick up just based off the remote. And I totally take that back. I'm totally joking. The whole product of this thing isn't that bad. Now, with that being said, would I recommend picking up an Amazon Fire Stick in 2020? Like I stated before, it totally depends on your situation. If you're somebody who has, an older TV, or even better yet, if you have a monitor, like I do, I have a couple monitors. They're not TVs, but they don't have any smart TV capabilities. You just plug them in, and then after that, you don't have a TV anymore, because I switch monitors sometimes. So I always have a monitor like laying around. And if you have that, you can just plug this Fire Stick within it and turn that, spare monitor into a functional TV or a functional smart TV in a way. And even though a lot of people might not like that, a lot of people might be like, oh, I want a bigger TV, whatever. That's just a small example. You can always, if you have a bigger TV setup, adding this thing to your selection won't be that bad of an idea. I think one of the bigger advantages for picking up a Fire Stick, for example, is the capability of, adding additional apps that come out in the future. With a lot of smart TVs, they really don't get updates for the most part. But on top of that, with the Fire Stick, you do have some capability of modding it. Not necessarily like taking it apart, but installing third-party apps on some occasions. And I think that's a really, really big highlight. I think that's a really, really big thing. And I would totally recommend it. If you're somebody in that market who has a TV like that, I would probably recommend it. But for anybody who's picked up a TV within the last couple years, I think you're probably better off not picking this thing up. You can save your money. Like I said, I think it's a good thing. I think the remote itself is probably one of its best selling features just because of the Alexa built in. But I just think for really anything else and every other TV, you're probably better off just picking up, a standard smart TV and moving on. Especially if you're somebody who has, a TV from the last couple of years, just keep it. You don't really need it, in my opinion. I bought a TV like an LG one that's 55 or 60 inches. I don't remember. It was probably less than $400. And that had so many capabilities built in. I was honestly super surprised. So the fact that that thing had so many capabilities at that low of a price tells me that if you bought a TV that's over 500 within the last couple of years, you're probably set. But again, if you have a TV that doesn't have any capabilities like that, if it's a super old TV, but it's plastered onto a wall, you can't take it down, you can turn it into a smart TV pretty easily by utilizing this Fire Stick. So that's really pretty much it. If you guys have any other questions or anything, let me know in the comment section below. If you want to pick one up, I'll leave one link down below. You can get one from there and help support the channel at the same time. Hit the like button if you guys enjoyed the video, but definitely hit that subscribe button. Every single subscriber that we get really does count, so it means so much if you guys can hit that. Also check out the other links down in the description as well. My Twitter, my Instagram, my second channel. More importantly than everything else, I love every single one of you guys. Hopefully I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out till then.